A single word, 5 letters, nearly unraveled one of America's biggest denim brands. American Eagle launched a summer campaign with Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing.
The tagline, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Fun, flirty, fast. But in the ad, the pants were crossed over with jeans, as in genetics. That's what the purpose of the pun was. But that tiny pun carried a huge weight. To many, it wasn't just clever, it was loaded. Critics said it hinted at genetics, purity, even echoes of eugenics. Yikes. What American Eagle thought was playful started to look political. Social media caught fire. NPR, BBC, Hollywood Reporter, Fox News, nearly every news outlet amplified the rage. Memes and think pieces piled on. Political pundits weighed in. Some fans threatened to boycott. Even Mickey Drexler, the retail legend behind Gap and J. Crew, called it a mistake. American Eagle scrambled to explain. They said it was only about the denim. It was only about clever marketing. But the internet doesn't wait for clarifications. But here's where it gets more interesting. While store traffic dipped and negative sentiment rose, the stock price climbed. Investors read the headlines as reach. Attention, even negative, as market value. This isn't just a celebrity ad gone wrong. It's a masterclass in how branding works and how our concept of the branding works and breaks. Words travel with history. A pun can carry decades of cultural baggage. But that said, controversy is currency. And outrage, like it or not, creates the very reach that brands chase. Today, we'll unpack how a single crossed out word exposes the new math of marketing, where every joke can be a risk, every image can be a Rorschach test, and every misstep a case study in modern brand power. I'm Jinx Joglekar, and this is The Art of Commerce. Let's get into it.
The Art of Commerce is a podcast featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. Hosted by Anish, a data-obsessed creative director, and Jinx, a growth-obsessed CMO. Listen on for actionable insights for the modern marketer.
Hey, another episode, another story of a brand who did something outrageous.
Yep.
Or rather did something which caused an outrage.
Yeah, but we don't know whether it's outrageous or not, but it became outrageous.
It became an outrage. But here's what's interesting. If you guys tuned into the last episode about Cracker Barrel, when Cracker Barrel did their marketing, did their misstep, their stock prices went down.
Yeah.
Right? When American Eagle did a similar misstepping, some eyes, punning some eyes, their stock price actually went up. Tell me what happened here. Why was it so different here?
Well, I think the real thing was the Cracker Barrel outrage was this doesn't work. And all the punditry, and again, we are not pundits. I'm going to say that a million times. We're marketers. We deal in art and science, right? Facts.
The art of commerce.
The art of commerce, right? But what we will say is Cracker Barrel, everyone hated it. You know, you had, like we said, president tweeting about it. You're like, probably should be spending his time doing something different, but whatever. Like, you know, everyone talking about how bad it was. What a mistake. In this case, you actually had people saying it was a mistake, and then you had people saying, this is great. What are you talking about? Sydney Sweeney's an attractive woman in jeans, and this echoes back to the Brooke Shields ads, the Calvin Klein days, blah, 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 blah. So, like, there was a incongruous nature of how people were talking about it. And that's what I think the market seized on.
Oh, so this one had people divided.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the outrage. But yeah, another common thing, the president tweeted for this one as well.
That's right. I mean, you know, it's interesting. Again, the bigger things to weigh on, like leave the marketing for us, but whatever. Okay, that's fine. But so again, I think, yeah, that divided, you hit it right. That divided nature, the market sees opportunity, and well, you know, the stock market's a human market. Doesn't make any sense. It's irrational.
Right.
You know, like we always talk about, the pandemic was like the worst of times, and the market went up, but nobody knows how. Right? It is what it is. But I really think that human market capitalized on, hey, look, there's a lot of chatter about this. Probably the most chatter American Eagle's gotten in a very long time. And by the way, Sydney Sweeney is like in every cultural zeitgeist, like
The
being
Handmaid's Tale.
being talked about by whether it's Euphoria, whether it's
Selling backwater.
Bathwater. Oh, right, we didn't even talk about the. Oh yeah, we got to put a pin in the Dr. Squatching. That's just woo, okay. But yeah, no. So right, so I think they saw that versus again, Cracker Barrel, complete misstep, not understanding your customer. Nobody liked it, not helpful. This caused a lot of a good conversation. Well, good and bad conversation, I guess. But caused a lot of conversation, and the market reacted to that.
When's the last time you even thought of American Eagle?
I don't. I mean, clearly, I shop at No, I don't think. I don't think about American Eagle.
Does it sound like these marketing outrages are like new marketing ideas? Big ideas.
Before the cameras rolled, we were talking about like it's and there's so much noise in the marketplace right now. There's so much attention being pulled, right? It's so hard especially with a news cycle like this to get earned media. So earned media, for those who don't know, is like when you're not paying for media, but you're getting the coverage, right? Like that was the thing, like as marketers, as CMOs, man, we love it. And it used to be, we loved it when it was good because then we didn't have to pay for it. And then it was something we can capitalize on. But now it seems like you can love it when it's bad because every news article is good, no matter if it's the bad press or good press. So
I guess, yeah, these are the times we're living.
Yeah.
Jinx, you know me, I love a good pun. This whole big idea of this campaign, as big as it gets, was based around the pun.
Yeah.
But also, you spoke about the cultural baggage or the historical baggage that the work Jinx carries.
Yeah.
Especially in the last 2 years when things have been so crazy around, like genetics. We are divided people as divided as we've been in the longest time.
Yeah.
Right? Where did you draw the line as a marketer? Like, was it just an innocent fun, or you had a feeling that this will play well with some groups?
Oh, no. I'll say, look, I don't know anyone in American Eagle or whatever, but I don't think this was like specifically
this wasn't designed to cause outrage.
No, I don't think this was designed to cause outrage. I think it was just like, oh, that's kind of funny, like, and like that's a funny pun, like, and by the way, like
we get the joke.
We get the joke, and like honestly, objectively, subjectively, because this is my opinion, like I don't think it was that great a campaign.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I'll be honest, like I mean, yes, you got Sydney Sweeney. Like you put whatever words you want at that point, right? Like that was what you paid for her, and like that's what you did, and that's great, but like that's what it is. So I didn't think it was that great, but I also don't think it was malicious in any way. I think it was just a silly pun. And quite frankly, like I laughed because I was like, this is like what some of the ideas that your agency might pitch or you might pitch in the room. Then you're like, no, we're not doing that one. Like that's too lame. Like, but like we got Sydney Sweeney already. Like we don't need that. But anyway, so that's my take. But certainly I don't know anyone in American Eagle, like I said, but I do not believe this was in any way like created to cause controversy.
Oh, yeah.
And he needs to take a minute on that one.
Yeah, but that also speaks volumes about the cultural zeitgeist which we have been talking about, right? Like, should we account for what the cultural sentiment or the political or the social sentiment is when launching campaigns? Like, and can it help you be better prepared to answer when questions come up?
Yeah, I mean, look,
because I'll give you some more background around that. What did Cracker Barrel do when the outrage happened? They said, we hear you.
Yeah.
We are going back.
Right.
What did American Eagle do when they were asked questions around this or when an outrage happened? They just started clarifying this is just about jeans.
Yeah, it's just about jeans. And they really didn't answer.
Right.
And like they had made no proactive statement, actually. Like that, which is, like either really smart and ballsy or just they didn't know what they didn't know how to respond. But no, I mean, I think as long as you're not being malicious, right? And we even talked about this with Tim. So we interviewed this guy, Tim Glom, and we were like, he said, he used the word crass. He's like, I don't want to be crass. Like, like we do fun stuff. Things are funny and all this stuff. He did, Viva La Bam, Jackass, all this stuff. Don't be crass. I think the same thing, right? As long as you're not being negative or like literally like putting something in to be, to belittle a certain ethnicity or belittle a certain gender, like you got to take a stand. Now, again, like as from a marketing perspective, right? You got to put a stake in the ground. Like we said, I don't think this is the greatest ad. So like whatever, but to not run it because a certain point of the population may feel offended wrongly, if, you know, again, you're not coming from a malicious place and they're wrongly offended, then I don't think that you should completely abandon your campaign, quite frankly. Like, you know, and in this case that's there, I mean, you know, there's certain other examples you can think of that like maybe, okay, wait, you should have, because that really is insensitive and you really didn't understand that perspective. But in this case, again, I don't think it was malicious, and I don't think, you know, again, I don't want to censor marketers at large for creativity, although, like we said, probably more creative way to do this.
This also makes me just think about frigging and scanning arc, okay? Last two decades that I've been just looking at ads for, like as a lover of the art form. The ads that stood out the most in the past were ones that celebrated diversity, inclusivity. So think United Colors of Parenting.
Yeah.
They also caused a lot of outrage for their very like aggressive inclusivity.
Right.
And now you have American Eagle on the opposite end of the spectrum, but there's one model, right? Which is also they're celebrating one kind of gene, and that's what maybe gag messaging is what offended people.
Yeah.
You can gag swag the outrage was caused because it's just so different from the advertising we're being used to seeing the last couple of decades, right? Like where advertising is supposed to be inclusive. You celebrate all shapes, all you know, all cultural backgrounds, all skin tones. And here, this was one pun, one joke, one blonde-haired woman saying she has great genes.
Yeah.
Not to say everyone else doesn't.
Right.
And maybe that's what caused it to break through.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, you're using a person that literally you put her in an ad and you're getting this, like the bathwater with Dr. Squatch. We'll bring that up. Like she's like selling the bathwater that she filmed the commercials, but which, by the way, that I think is brilliant. Like I think it's disgusting. I think of many things of it. But when I like back to the creativity part, like the guys at Dr. Squash being like, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to go hard at it. And like, we only have 100 bottles, so they're going to sell out, but we're going to make this huge earned media moment because of it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, no offense to my American Eagle friends that I don't have, but hopefully we do after this podcast. Like again, I don't think that level of creativity was this one.
Right.
But you know, you put her out there and she's just going to get headlines, right? So that's number one. Number two is like we talked about, I think in the last episode, like, and you just said it, like everyone wants to get on the side of something right now.
Yes.
Like everyone, it's like, okay, I like it, I don't like it, and it's like, well, I'm so for it, and I'm so against. It's like, guys, like first of all, if this is a conversation about objectively is a good advertising, or subjectively, do we feel the creative is good or whatever? That's one thing, but people are just getting so lit up about different things that I think that also propelled it. You know, again, unintentionally. I'm going to just say I don't think American Eagle ever thought they would get the impact they saw from this, at least culturally. But you know, hey, if I'm an American Eagle and the stock price is going up, and hopefully now we're bringing people back to stores because like the word of mouth is now coming in, then great. But again, we haven't even talked about it. Like the product has to match the promise too. They actually have to be great jeans. You know,
they have to be great jeans. Like, where do you think this goes from here? Like, what happens next? Like, you have this big moment in the sport. Like, you have your 15 seconds of fame as a brand once again.
Yeah.
Right? How do you follow up something like this? Or do you just quietly fade away? What would you do if you were on that team right now? I would probably try to pitch for another follow-up idea.
Yeah,
and I would choose another celebrity.
Yeah.
Like someone incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe with another set of physical characteristics and follow it up. She has great genes. He has great genes.
Right. Like, I mean, yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you, you know, again...
Double down, lean in.
Yeah, why wouldn't you, like, the opposite end of the spectrum, why don't you get Beyonce? I mean, maybe you can't afford Beyonce, I get it. But, like, why wouldn't you get her to say she has great genes? Like, now, then it becomes all these people have great genes, right? Like, and then so you've actually taken that moment that was divisive, made it inclusive. Now, back to what we said, then other people will get on it and say blah, 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 but who cares? Like, that's the way I would think about it, right? I would say, well, we have a moment now where, like, this thing became a thing. We didn't really think it was a thing, but it became a thing. So, like, how do we use that momentum to our advantage, right? Like, it's we've talked about this concept of judo strategy, which is, in judo, and again, all the people that do judo are going to say I'm bastardizing. It's fine. But this is my interpretation of it, which is the martial art of judo uses the force of the attacker against itself. So there's a lot of catching the punch and flipping and all that kind of stuff, right? So in the judo strategy of business, you use the weight of your competitor to be the David and the Goliath scenario. So again, they have shipping delays. I think we brought it up another. They have shipping delays. They have problems. We're smaller. We can be more nimble in manufacture. We're going to use their weight against them. In this case, it is a type of judo strategy because you're using cultural weight. It's not competitive weight, but you're actually taking the force of all this cultural backlash, all of this cultural conversation, all of that, and actually using the weight to create the momentum to create something new, to amplify that campaign, to propel the campaign. And that is, if I'm sitting in those war rooms or whatever, that's what I'm talking about. Like, how do we change this? And I'm with you, man. I would totally do a blank has great genes, and the blank could be blank, whoever, what, doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your gender, right? Because you could do a male, like all this kind of stuff. So that's what I would think about.
Yeah. Hey, American Eagle, if you're listening to this, or if you know someone who's working there, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to follow that up.
Exactly. Exactly. We have a great campaign idea.
We have great campaign ideas here. In times of PR crisis, Jinx, we talk about owning the narrative so you can shape the conversations around it. We didn't see any of that with American Eagle. They just let the wildfire burn out, and there was no conscious attempt to either stoke it or clarify it.
Yeah.
Some more of an attempt to clarify it. Is that the right choice in most cases? Because if they try to address it and they got some more backlash, that's adding fuel to the fire. If they stay quiet, people are talking about it anyway. What's the best way to deal with the crisis? Maybe this is not even a crisis because the stock prices were going up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I wouldn't qualify this as a crisis.
Right.
I'd qualify it as like a flashpoint moment, maybe. But here's the deal. Every situation is unique, right? But the way that I keep thinking about it is like this, as I've been thinking about it. If it's Cracker Barrel and everything's negative, you probably want to say something. We heard you, or whatever. Whether that was the right response or not, I think you have to address it, right? If everything's good, I also think you should address it because you'd be like, look how great we are. This is great, And I think you should address it. I mean, we could argue if that's true or not, but I do. But American Eagle's in this middle ground where it's like the pundits, the consumers, the people on social media, they're having the debate. So it's like, honestly, kind of makes sense for American Eagle to be like, all right, like we don't need to get involved in this debate because you guys will hash it out and you guys will maybe never meet in the middle. And so we don't need to say that we messed up or we're great because then we alienate everyone, whereas we just shut up. They'll let you figure it out, right? And honestly, I think that's what you saw, why you saw the stock price rise. And I think that's with this news cycle and how quick things move, sometimes the best thing to do is not to address it. Because, by the way, we're doing this a couple weeks after it. People will probably ping us and say, oh, that's old news.
That's old news. Yeah.
But by the way, we do like to wait before all the political stuff settles down so we can actually talk about the facts and the marketing and the concepts. First, the political punditry. My disclaimer, once again.
It's all tactical. This is a tactical relay. Right. Suggestions for marketing teams trying to crack the viral code in 2025. And it has always been the case, right, Jinx? Like, if you want to go viral, you talk about something which is at the right timing, right? And then you combine the case and the tools. We've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
With the environment and the political climate and just the social climate being so hot right now, do you think addressing those issues which take up primetime news and adding your own spin on it, is that a sound, creative strategy to at least get the headlines that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise?
I think, again...
Because think about very recently, we collaborated on a project and we created this NFL ad which was heavy on religious symbolism, but all in good humor.
Yeah, right.
How do you approach something like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's all about, are you being authentic and are you, again, in that, like, it was an AI ad we created, and we'll talk about that in future episodes. but it was all driven on this idea that Sunday you watch football, Sunday there's an element of church, right? There's an element, and so Sunday service, Sunday streaming service, Sunday football. You
get the idea,
right? So all that to be said is we thought the idea was good. It made sense, still makes sense. We were authentic to who we were. We weren't trying to offend anybody. We didn't portray, I don't think, anybody in there as to offend any particular group, etc. And so, I mean, like, if you're doing that and then your stuff stokes fire, then I think it's okay. Like, I'm not, and I could be totally wrong about this. So, like, this is my opinion, but like, I'm not in the camp of like, let's just create controversy to create controversy, right? Because that when that news cycle dies down and you're left with a crappy campaign and a crappy product, what are you gonna do with it, right? Like, the whole point is you want to get some earned media and capitalize on it that will translate into revenue, right? Again, we've talked about this is art and commerce. Commerce is key because that's how business stays open. And if you can't capitalize on it, you're just creating shock waves. It's not as impactful to me as, hey, this thing that we did, we had a lot of commitment to it and we did it, and yeah, it caused some outrage, but like, how do we then capitalize that judo strategy, capitalize on that momentum of the culture, right?
Right? Yeah. Hey, we spoke about this in another episode with Kim Glom too. Like, great content has to either add value to someone's life, and that value can be as simple as making someone laugh or, making them smarter.
That's right.
Solving a problem for them, or it has to, educate or entertain them. Right? That's largely the summary.
Yep.
This ad did neither, to be honest. Personal cake, I mean, it's, great looking commercial, high budget, you got a great star in there, and with a silly pun. But it still had its day in the sun.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes just getting the timing right can get you somewhere, and the taste, Yeah,
I mean, look, again, I subjectively, I will not say objectively, because I can't claim I'm the expert at everything advertising, and honestly, if it drove sales, then it's good advertising, right? I guess. But creatively, like, I'm not that impressed, right? Like, you got an attractive woman that's in the zeitgeist, like think about every other, like, again, I brought up the Calvin Klein's ad from years ago that had the same controversy because she was under 18 and they were showing her in a sexualized manner. Like, they're doing the same thing, right? Like, and so I guess back to the point is, maybe you're getting, like, you're showing an attractive woman, so you're giving the audience something, I guess. I don't know.
Guess, yeah.
But even point, like it was on a soundstage, white background, like, like the money they put for that shoot was paying her to be there. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't really do anything for the audience, that perspective. That being said, again, if it's driving the sales, then the numbers are going to speak. But again, like when I look at that and compared to like the Dr. Squatch, right? Like, and their brand has permission to be funny. Yeah. But like, man, what they did with that bathwater stunt, I think is like, we should be talking about that. That actually should be the real podcast. But
we will do another episode on the bathwater and Sydney Sweeney's flavor of the season. Right. Hey, I think that do you have anything else?
I just say again, like I said in the last one, like, forget the punditry stuff. Let's just talk about facts. Let's talk about why people interpret the way they do, what you can do as a brand. I thought we had some really good ideas, especially around capitalizing that momentum.
Double down, lean in, make more variations.
Right. And so
I think they have something there.
Yeah. And so again, don't insult people, don't belittle people, don't do that by design. But again, once you have something, if you believe in it, and be true to it, be true and be authentic, and let's not censor ourselves as marketers. Let's just make great creative, really, which is the real point.
Yeah, and another thing you said, which stood out to me from this episode, is the product has to be good enough to back up the advertising.
Yeah.
Our old boss Gary used to say this: product equals promise.
That's right.
Like, hey, if this is a great promise, she has great jeans. When I go into the stores this weekend, and if the jeans go, I won't even know if they sell men's jeans. So I will check out. I'll check it out.
They alienated the whole man. No, but exactly. But no, you got the great wrap point, which is, I mean, look, if the jeans fall apart and disintegrate on you in a day, it doesn't matter all this stuff because nobody's going to rebuy that,
And I'll probably hate Sydney Sweeney for it. No, I'm kidding. She's got great jeans. Yeah, I mean, hey, art in the service of commerce. Commerce is what fuels the art, and that's the loop we keep on going in. So American Eagle has a great advertisement that has caught people's fantasies and their outrage. Let's see what happens next. I'm excited for what happens next.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. And if something great happens and they take our advice, we're going to talk about it here.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and let us know some other case studies and interviews you want. We want to hear from you guys as well. So look forward to the next one.
All right. This is the Art of Commerce, and we have a great podcast. We got to figure out a pun for that.
This is The Art of Commerce, featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. If you found value in today's episode, follow the show, leave a review, and stay tuned for more insights for the minds reshaping modern marketing.